over 6 people were reportedly killed in the Queen Elizabeth National Park in the year 2019. But when you get to visit the Uganda Wildlife Authority, they have a different story, saying these people are not actually located in the middle of the national park, as earlier said. This is Uganda Navy. Today, follow me in this story as we find out how come these people are in the national park. It's me, Namale Agnes, here in Uganda Navy every Sunday, 7:30 p.m. Queen Elizabeth National Park is one of Uganda's oldest parks. It was formed officially along with Murchison Falls National Park in 1952. The park was initially known as Kazinga National Park before it was renamed in 1954 to commemorate a visit by Queen Elizabeth II of Great Britain. But from a variety of animal species, this park accommodates human beings, whom the Public Relations Officer of Uganda Wildlife Authority calls encroachers.
My name is Bashir Anji. I'm a Communication Manager for Uganda Wildlife Authority. The settlements that you say are in a park, actually it is not true that we have people settling in the park. I think the issue is about where these people are located, are situated, vis-a-vis where the boundaries of the park is. For you to appreciate that people are inside the park, we need to first know where the boundaries are. You may think they are inside the park because of the nature of how the boundaries are moving, okay? When actually they are outside the park. And most of the communities are actually outside the park. I also know that the activities that are undertaken by community members inside the park. So we have most of the fishing villages there, and these fishing villages at the time of gazettement of the park, they were recognized as fishing villages. And it was anticipated that fishing as an economic activity does not have any negative impact in wildlife conservation. So that's why you find communities there, these fishing communities there, because the activities they are supposed to be doing, in this case to be very specific, fishing is okay.
Not only is Kasese district endowed with a variety of cultures, but rather mind-blowing sites are quite a number as well. Being the home of the largest part of Queen Elizabeth National Park, Kasese is also one of the top tourist destinations in Uganda. Driving from Kasese town to Bwela, just a few kilometers after crossing the equator, a thin tarmac road leads to one of the most endangered communities, Amelie's Queen Elizabeth National Park. On the shores of Lake George lies Hamukungu. Live along the thin tarmac road, you're going to encounter elephants crossing the way, warthogs staring at you, and the car engine sometimes startles the innocent waterbugs. Legend says, years ago, before this park was called Queen Elizabeth, parts of it in Kasese district belonged to Amukama and Dahura, from whom the Basongora descend. These people are cattle herders, and they are basically used to the wildlife. The biggest number of the people living in Hamukungu are Basongora, a cattle herding community. However much wild animals are present in this area, they say their herds have not been affected.
Where the challenge is that people went ahead and started engaging in some other activities. Activities such as grazing. People were initially fishermen, and sometimes also how we do what we do, the activities that we undertake, like fishing. When you overfish the lake, you certainly have, of course, out of necessity, you have to get out and look for other economic activities on which to survive. Now, because of this, we have seen a situation where people now, some actually are living fishing, and now they are venturing into cattle rearing. And because they don't have enough land, like I've said, basically fishing, these are fishing villages, there isn't enough land for grazing. So you find some of them grazing inside the park. And when you find them there, you may think it is actually their place, but they are basically encroaching. We call them encroachers. So that is exactly what is happening there.
Okay.
That's the interaction that is taking place.
On the other end, natives of Hamukungu continue to live in constant fear of wild animals. Every once in a while feast on the people of this village. According to the local defense officers, in the year 2019, Hamukungu has lost about 6 people to hungry hippopotamuses that sometimes change their routes to trap natives into falling prey. In the morning, fish trucks arrive in this village that is a bit far away from the main road to collect previous night's catch. The village has a school, church and a hospital, but resources still are not efficient for the people. For a place like Hamukungu, the relationship between humans and animals is a bittersweet one.
The relationship between humans and animals in these places is a bittersweet one. Bittersweet in the sense that, of course, when people graze in the park, or even if, by the way, they are not grazing in the park, even when they are grazing outside the park, but if you are staying adjacent to the park and you start grazing, you have cows, you have pigs, you have goats, you know, all these activities. A lion want to know that here is a boundary I'm supposed to end here. So a lion will come and grab your goat, or a leopard will come and grab your goat, or they will kill your cow, or something like that. And now when such things happen, now that's the bitter side of the relationship that we have with communities. Of course it's understandable. This is an economic loss that is happening today. Also on our side, some of them, they may engage in retaliatory killings, for instance, saying that as far as we know, animals, they killed some so-and-so's goats, and maybe they may come across an animal and kill it, you know. Now that is a bitter side of it. The other aspect of the bitter relationship is where we have to come in with the hand of law enforcement, where we have to arrest people who are found illegally inside the park. Of course, you know, this is quite a controversial issue, because most people say, you see, they are arresting people, but you know, the law criminalizes, actually, it makes it an offense for you to enter this park without authorization. So when we find you there, we arrest you, we become bad boys, and you know.
However, the Wildlife Authority takes social responsibility of giving back to the communities adjacent to the park every financial year.
The sweet side of it is that every year we collect 20% of the gate collections. We get 20% and we give it back to the communities in terms of money. Now, this money is billions of shillings. I can tell you that last financial year we gave over 13 billion shillings to communities adjacent to our national parks, inclusive of communities that we're talking about. So you can see what we are doing here. Now that's the sweet side of the relationship. The other sweet side of our relationship is that we have what we call regulated resource access, where we allow them to enter the parks to access and harvest certain resources: firewood, medicines, beehives, beekeep, honey, and others. And you know, we also give them beehives. Now, these beehives help us to make sure that animals such as elephants don't cross and go to the communities. We ask them to put them on the boundaries of the park. But you know, when it's time to harvest the honey, it's the communities that harvest the honey. So they get this benefit. Look at it in terms of enterprise development. So that's how we are working with communities. We have this bittersweet relationship, of course, occasioned by either wildlife going out to their land, they are destroying crops, causing injury maybe to some people, or killing some of their livestock, you know. And of course, some of them coming to encroach on the parks, and then we have to come in and arrest them. But also we have a sweet relationship where we share with them the benefits of having the national park in their area.
The Wildlife Authority says hippopotamuses are lawn mowers. They prefer to graze short grass, each animal eating about 40 kilograms each night. That's why sometimes they change routes on the land, where unfortunately humans fall prey.
We have, on an annual basis, I know we get cases of people who are being attacked by wildlife. Not only hippopotamuses, people get affected by wildlife. They are either injured And as a matter of fact, we have also registered some death. But the issue is a place like Hamukungu, we need to appreciate that ordinarily where it is right now, it is a settlement, community settlement, but eliminating human wildlife conflict in a place like Hamukungu is very hard. Hippos stay in water. People go to water bodies because they need water. We all need water as human beings. So people go to fetch water, hippos grab them. That is not something you can avoid. You cannot take away the hippos from the water. But also, we want the communities to live harmoniously. What we do now is to do sensitization. To sensitize them when they are going to fetch water. How do you tell that a certain area could be a ground for hippos? The good thing is that hippos, at least you can always tell. So we do a lot of sensitization. But also, people also, we have also seen cases where people just go in the water just like that and kind of donate themselves, which is not a good thing. So hippos killing people, yes, it happens, but also people should heed to the sensitization messages that we have what we call community conservation wardens. Their role is to go and sensitize communities. We also have community conservation rangers, whose role actually, these ones settling communities there. So this is something we are looking at, and it is yielding results in some other places. So, and I can tell you that the cases of people being grabbed by hippos or crocodiles, for instance, from the waters, these cases are going down over the years. So I think we are doing great strides in that area, although we have not yet reached where we are supposed to be. But look, the bottom line is that coexistence between human beings and wildlife is a very hard thing. Instead, we talk about harmonious living together in harmony. This is what we think that will bring results. But that one also, results will come over a period of time. So it is true, we have these cases, they are unfortunate, we regret them. But we are talking about where a hippo is missed its habitat. And I go and to grab them. It's very unfortunate. Because people must fetch water anyway. And the hippos also must stay in water. So what is important? Heed the sensitization messages that we give. Because we know where you can go and fetch water. Yeah.
Mr. Hanji says as much as a lot of effort is put in to help these communities, they should also heed to these sensitizations to help protect their lives.
Relocating people is one thing, but you are relocating someone from their land. It's very hard. If we are inside the park, that would be another story. We would say leave, and we are saying this in your interests. It's in your interest that you get out of this place. But these are people who are in their own, they are on their land, they are in their own settlement, they are staying there. It's very hard to tell them to leave. That's one. Two, even if we are to ask them to leave, we need to compensate them or to put in place what we call a settlement action plan, where now you see where to take them. You say we are locating you from this place to another place, and which must have more or similar conditions for survival. So it is quite a tricky thing. That's why it is an area, like I say, that we have a bittersweet relationship with communities. But we've lived for all these years, ever since the park was created, was gazetted. We've managed to live with them. The ideal would be stopping cattle grazing largely. Not necessarily people leaving and going. That would be the best. But in the circumstances, you cannot ask people to leave, to go where you want them to go. These days we have a challenge of land. Everywhere you go, people are complaining about land grabbing. People are saying this is basically land is a big deal in the country. Therefore, asking people to leave, it could be a tall order. But they can undertake activities that are not palatable, with activities that do not attract wildlife from the park to their communities. And I think that's where we have a challenge. Most of them now, they have quit fishing, they have ventured into cattle grazing, and it is increasing the conflict between them and wildlife. We have sensitized them, and we are continuing to sensitize them because it's our work to sensitize them. But also, We have put in place measures to protect communities against wildlife. One, we have elephant trenches. For instance, I know that last year we dug around 51 kilometers of elephant trenches. Different, of course, I'm giving you a combined figure in the number of the parks. Now, these trenches help to ensure that, especially elephants, do not cross to go over to the communities. We started the electric fencing. Last year, we commissioned 10 kilometers of electric fence. The president commissioned it. And this fence stops animals from going into the community land to disturb communities. We are doing beehives. I talked about beehives. We buy beehives, give them to the communities, they put them in the boundaries of the park, and the bees, they chase the animals and they stay inside the park. And then the communities harvest the honey. And we continue doing like that. So we are also, there's where we are using also crocodile exclusion enclosures, CEEs. These we build them in the waters so that we have safe water fetching points. You enter into it, fetch water, and go back home. Even if a crocodile is looking at you like this, it can't do anything. It cannot harm you. So we are building this, not only this side of Queen, but also it's outside the protected areas, because we are responsible for that. But the most important thing is that is sensitization, to change people's behavior. People must also appreciate that life is important, not always to expose themselves. Yes, but also you need to understand that when you're talking about conflict between humans and wildlife, also there's an element of wildlife offenses. People entering the park to poach, and when they are arrested, it becomes a problem. Others get killed by wildlife, but you will find people saying, you see, they are killing our people, when actually they got killed by wildlife. Because if you enter a national park and you are going through ungazetted entry points, a national park is not like a beauty contest where you can come and do a catwalk. It is a den of, and we have dangerous animals in these parks. And we want to encourage people to always use gazetted entry points so that we can account for them. Anyone who enters our park is registered, we get to know you, and we know where you are in our park, and we offer you security. So we have people who enter the park using ungazetted entry points, and it becomes very hard for us to account for such people, really. Very hard. It's very hard to find the wildlife going into people's animals, that's one. Rather than people's homes. So there's nothing like an attack on people in their homes. Attacks usually happen when people are entering the parks. We ask people not to enter the park. That's one. Two, surely if you are staying near the park and you are grazing goats, you are grazing cows, you are inviting some of the animals like lions. Chances are high that they will visit your area. So people, we don't want people to starve. We want people to undertake projects, but projects that do not attract these animals to come and then wreak havoc to communities. Otherwise, people who don't engage in activities that expose them to wildlife, they are always okay. A park is not a place where you're going to come and walk around at night. So people should always be in their homes. If they are going to enter the parks, we should use gazetted entry points, because for us, when you use gazetted entry point, we make sure we give you protection wherever you are. We ensure that you are safe. So those who don't do that, they find themselves having problems being attacked by wildlife.
Apart from fishing in this lake, children find the water one of the coolest hobby around. In the evening, the youth get on their boats, sail across the lake to collect firewood for the following day's work. That has been today's Uganda Navia Yo. We have been talking about Hamukungu fishing village. There is more to come. We have more to show you in Uganda Navia Yo here at Gugude TV every Sunday 7:30 p.m. with me, Namale Agnes. Don't miss a variety of more charming shows here at Gugude TV. I've remained Namale Agnes. Bye bye.